and welcome to First Congregational United Church of Christ of Lowell. We welcome you on this Sunday morning. We have had some Zoom issues, so we apologize for anyone who got kicked out of the meeting before. Are glad to see you watching this video now. I don't have many announcements, but we will continue to keep our prayers for all of our essential workers and their families, prayers for those who are struggling with the shelter-in-place orders that continue, and prayers for all of our leaders that they make the best decisions based on facts and the best science and information available. We do ask that you continue with your giving. We've been so thankful for all the support that's come in, but we do want to remind you that donations can be sent to our post office box, which is Post Office Box 24 in Lowell, the zip code there, 49331. That is what I have for announcements this morning. Nothing specific to share, but we are just glad to have everyone joining us today.
So just a brief note about the service this morning. It is structured a little differently. So our friends at Church of Christ denominational level have put out a service for us this morning. They had their conference ministers record every piece of a service and sent it out in video form for UCC churches across the nation to watch and participate. And I decided that we would definitely use segments of this morning for a couple of different reasons. One, I think it's important to note that these are conference ministers. So these are not ministers currently serving local congregations. They are serving the pastors who serve in the local congregations. So they're kind of the liaison between church life and the denomination. So their efforts in putting this together is a wonderful blessing to local church pastors who might be struggling to find some time off, as well as to bless you all, the congregants in this denomination, to be able to connect with them, as you probably often don't have that opportunity. And second, I ultimately decided to share some of these clips because I think that it's important that our local church here in Lowell, Michigan, stays connected to our bigger governing body. It helps us remember that we are not alone, either in polity, in thought, or in circumstance. And it helps us feel connected to our broader human family. I think that these displays of unity and solidarity are what we really need now more than ever. So I hope you enjoy this hybrid service. I wanted to share that I went into it with themes of unity and solidarity, and I hope that you listen to these videos with that in mind. So I'm going to turn it over to Deborah to lead us in a song, and then I will take us into the rest of the videos.
This will be hymn 238, and it goes to a familiar Christmas tune called Sing We Know of Christmas. So you should, once you hear it, you'll know it. So.
Love is come again like wheat that rises green. When our hearts are wintry, grieving or in pain, Christ's warm touch can call us back to life again. Fields from our hearts that dead and bare have been, love is come again like wheat that rises green.
Beautiful. Thank you, Deborah. I would like to have a short time here for children. Did it switch over? Okay. I'd like to have a short time here for children just to bring together some thoughts about things that are happening in the world and how we might respond to that. So I am glad to know that the kids are around. I did get to see a couple of them yesterday from the end of the driveway. So hello again, and it was so good to see you yesterday. I want to talk about something that we find in the Bible, and they're going to talk about it in some of those videos today. And it's something that God says, it's let light shine out of darkness. Let light shine. Now that got me thinking, what are different ways that we can light or help light things? How can we help light shine out? Well, you might light a candle. You might flip on a light switch. You might build a big fire. We don't get to make our own light, but we can use or create tools that will help make light for us. And so I brought one of those tools today, and it's this. This is a night light, the night light we use in Liam's room. And it's sort of hard to see here, but I'm going to plug it in so you guys can see what we're working with. Can you see it's blue now? Now this is the kind of light that doesn't get really bright. You couldn't use it to find your way if you were in a place you didn't know. But this is a kind of light that makes just a little bit of light to make a place less frightening. You can see a little bit more in a dark place, but it's not so bright that it's blinding your eyes. It's not so bright that it couldn't help you see. But when you've been asleep, it's going to give you just a little bit of light to help us see and to feel and believe that it's okay, that we're in our room, that we're safe. Now, there are times when our life is like being in the dark, right? When we're sad or we're scared or we're anxious, we might feel like we're stuck in that room in the middle of the night in the deepest dark and wondering if we're alone, wondering if there's any light, anyone out there that might help us. And we might even wonder, where's God? But we do hear in the Bible that God has made a promise to each of us. And that promise is that no matter what, we've been given God's love, God's joy, God's hope in Jesus. So even in these moments when we're feeling really sad, when we're upset because the Zoom doesn't work, because we're missing our friends, we're feeling really down, we're feeling alone and in the darkness, Jesus is there with us. We might not see Jesus, we might not see God like we can see each other, we might not feel God like we could feel our own hands, but Jesus has been given to us, and God is something we can carry with us always, just like a nightlight. So when we're afraid or sad or scared, we're not alone. God is like this light, just shining just enough to let us know that we're always together and it will be okay. So remember, no matter what, you've got God, you've got your family, you've got your Christian family, and there's nothing in the darkness that can take that away from you. I hope you have a blessed week.
Thank you, Shannon. It's my sincere hope that once you finish watching this video, that you then click through the other links and watch the rest. You watch the introduction to the service and the call to worship, the musical moments, the scripture, and the message. And what I hope that you hear, so when I listened to the 7-minute long video, there's one woman in there who is talking about one of her childhood memories of going for Sunday drives. And that brought me back to memories from my childhood and how we would spend our Sundays. Sundays were such sacred, quiet, peaceful days for us. And I do have some memories of taking Sunday drives, especially around the holidays when we would go and we would look at Christmas lights. But more distinctly, I remember spending every Sunday afternoon at my grandma's house with all of my cousins. We would have coffee, we would eat cookies, we would have roast potatoes and carrots. And then after that, we would come home, little food comas, and everyone, except my mom, would take naps on the living room floor with NASCAR on in the background. Sundays had a very slow pace in our household. And then something changed as us kids got older and life got a little busier, and it just became more challenging, and Sundays became just another day. And then gone are all the memories of what happened on Sundays in those years. And I say all of this because it's my sense that a lot of us are recovering our Sundays, or just our days of the week in general. And we might be back to making memories with them. Whether it be taking the afternoon to drive Holland to look at the tulips, or going on long bike rides and seeing new parts of our cities, or just driving around for the heck of it and seeing where you end up. For CJ and I, one of our favorite things has been grabbing some takeout at one of our favorite local restaurants, since we know that's one small way we can support local business. And then we picnic in the back of the truck. We grab the dog and we just sit and people watch and enjoy the beautiful weather. We are definitely recovering and creating a slower pace of life. And I know that we are making memories. You know how you never really know when something you are experiencing is going to become a memory? Obviously, that's true for us a lot of the time, but I also feel very confident that the moments that we have in this time, the intentionality with which we are experiencing them, is absolutely making for memory moments. I also feel very confident that intentionality, which we're taking each moment while being in shelter in place, means that we have these moments as memories for the rest of our lives. And what I hope that these memories trigger for us when we look back years from now, looking back and remembering this time, that we think to ourselves, wow, even though so much has changed, God has not. So go, listen, watch these videos, enjoy them. They are a gift to us from our conference ministers. Enjoy them, relish in them, and let them be a breath of rest that you may need this week. I'm now going to have Deborah close us out. One song for this morning. Be blessed, friends. Thank you. Have a great week, everyone.